Okay. Well, we're definitely looking forward to this week. Our guys understand it's a rivalry game. It's a game we haven't won in quite some time, and we're going to have to play well to win. So you can throw out any records. For this game, you got to show up ready to play. Kentucky's a very talented team. A lot of the same guys on defense they had last year. They can hold people to a small amount of points. And they got very capable athletes on offense as well. So this is we've got to continue to improve and eliminate some silly mistakes we've made in the past and be as clean as we possibly can in all three segments in order to win. We're looking forward to going on the road and playing this rivalry game this weekend.
It's the 30th anniversary of the actual Governor's Cup, although obviously the two teams played, in the early 1900s. I think you came just right after. I guess what does this kind of a rivalry do for the state in terms of just having it going and being able to have it all these years?
Well, I think the fans love rivalry games without question. The Louisville Kentucky matchup in football and basketball and other sports is huge around the state. It's huge in this city. Everybody wears their red and blue, and you want bragging rights for the year. So I think these games are fun for fans. It's fun for players that know each other. It's one of those games that just like at any level, it doesn't matter what your record is. You want to win the game, and it's an important game on your schedule, and you circle it, and you make sure that you come prepared and ready to play, and you hope to play your best. And without question, we haven't been able to win the game the last so many years. So it's time for us to step up and find a way to play better.
Jeff, coming out of the Pittsburgh game, I understand you're mostly healthy. Is the team pretty much as healthy as they can be at this point heading into that last game?
I think so. I think we've had injuries along the way. Other teams have. I think we've adjusted. We're able to have some depth at certain positions, hold us over for a little bit until others got healthy, or maybe they didn't, and others had to step in. So I think every team goes through something similar. Some years it's worse than others. Some years maybe not. But from the last game, we came clean for the most part, and I think all the guys that played in the last game should be able to participate.
For the players that were here last year that returned for this iteration of the rivalry game, how have you seen their approach and mentality heading into this week maybe kind of different because they saw what happened last year?
Well, at this point, we come in on Sunday, do some light things, and go over the previous game, and Monday's their day off. So, I want them to enjoy the last victory and relax and get their mind right and get ready to come to work tomorrow when we start up in full practice fashion. So I haven't seen it yet. I think we've talked about it quite a bit. We understand it's a one-game season. Anytime from a team and player standpoint, you veer away from that, it causes mistakes. And I know it sounds cliche, but any given week, anybody can be anybody. You got to play well. This past game, they drove right down the field and ready to score, but we found a way to get a turnover, and then we won the turnover battle, and then we found a way to score early and get a lead, and all those things factor into it. And if those things don't happen, then that's a different result. So we've got to understand what we did last year. We blew a couple leads. We gave up a kick return for a touchdown. We gave up a couple easy wheel routes for touchdowns and big pass plays, and we also turned the ball over 3 times. So that's not a good recipe. So we've got to try not to duplicate that and be better in that aspect and find a way to score more points than they do.
Jeff, there seems to be maybe a question mark for them on who they're going to play at quarterback. Does that change anything for you guys defensively, or what do you see from each kid?
Well, they've played multiple quarterbacks, and you know what? They have capable quarterbacks. Obviously, the experienced veteran they brought in from Georgia can play football and has played. I think they've brought in the young man that's from the state of Kentucky that's athletic and can run around and make plays and do some things with his feet as well. And then I think they possibly found their quarterback of the future this past week, who's a true freshman. So that's 3 different guys that they can put in any time and can give the team a spark. And we've got to prepare for all 3 of them. I'm sure they know behind the scenes what they're going to do, but all 3 of those guys could play, and we've got to be ready.
Jeff, aside from the game. How different is this time of year for you now than when you started as a head coach at Western Kentucky in terms of the transfer portal is looming after this last game of the season and trying to see what you have to do in terms of guys who might leave and holes you anticipate plugging, and just what is this kind of added to your plate when you have obviously the Governor's Cup too?
Well, there are many more things involved that you got to keep track of throughout the year. Now, first and foremost is our team and winning football games every week, so we'll always concentrate on that. But yes, preparing for the roster next year has to be done during the season, and behind the scenes work of where we're going to go, what route we're going to take. Obviously, we have a smaller collection of high school commits that we want to get signed and get here with us as well. We definitely have room for transfers as well that we want to bring in guys that can help us win right away, and for the most part, guys that have played football. And that does take a lot of research and work behind the scenes, which, yes, has been done, has been watched, has been discussed. And the plan will be ready, once their last regular season game is over to go full speed on that. So, yes, there's a lot more involved, and, that's where we're at now. And, your roster can change as well, so you've got to be on top of that and make sure you're managing that. And it's just a kind of a constant deal that you hope to build good relationships with your players so that you have an idea of what could or may happen, even though it's not always perfect. And just communicate that as much as you can and adjust accordingly. So, yes, there's a lot more involved with it now.
When you were here, Howard was still trying to get Kentucky to play Louisville. I think you were on the last team that didn't get to play him. Is that right? Among the players, did you want to play Kentucky? Did you measure yourselves against Kentucky or think about how you would do if you played them? And do you, I guess regret it wouldn't be the right word, but do you wish you would have got to play them when you were here?
Well, being a in-state product, yes, you always want to play in the rivalry game. I think sometimes when you have guys from out of state, it's not as much on their mind. But, growing up here and understanding the rivalry in basketball and in football and what it means to the fans is what makes it kind of a little extra fun, a little more rewarding, and a little more able to jab your neighbor a little bit back and forth a little bit and have fun with that. And that's what it's all about. It's a sport. It's a game. So I'm all for it. I love the rivalry game. Kentucky's a very talented team. They play a great schedule. They're well coached. They've got really good players. I think we've got really good players that want to find a way to win this game, and it'll be a tough matchup. So I think back when it was the first game of the year, I was a big fan of that. Now it's the last. That's still good as well. But you got to finish the season strong, and if you don't win it, man, it puts a sour taste in your mouth. And we had that feeling last year, and man, it's a bad taste, and it stays there for a long time. So you got to work your butt off this week to try not to have that taste come back again. But we've got to really play well in order to do that.
I guess just kind of going off of that, I mean, you have a performance like you did against Pitt, then you have the Stanford game, but then you have the Clemson game, then you have, the slow starts to the Notre Dame and Miami games. How do you, I guess, establish consistency knowing the importance of a game like this?
Well, it's important to do. You only got so many possessions in a game. You got to take advantage of it. The main thing we do is we try to, identify all the mistakes we made and not shy away from it, and talk about it in detail. Why did it happen? What caused it to happen? Why would it happen again? I mean, what are we doing wrong as coaches? And I think we work hard to try to fix that. And you hope that you can maybe get over the hump and have less and less of those as the year goes on, and that's the goal. Then occasionally it might pop up again, a couple things that you didn't think of or that maybe possibly reoccurred. So it's up to us as coaches to really try to get better at that as the year goes on and eliminate mistakes that maybe we can help eliminate. And, of course, our players got to buy into it as well. And, there's certain silly things that have happened on their end that we've got to be better at and make sure that we're lined up properly. We know the call. We communicate everything. When the ball's snapped, we're all on the same page. We're flying and tackling, hustling to the ball. We're getting back up and recognizing a little bit of tendencies and formations. All those things are important. And then you got to, create some havoc. Get some turnovers, create a couple big plays. All those things add into it. Um, Obviously, every team plays better, especially us, when you're winning and you're able to kind of do things you want a little bit more. That was a strength of ours last year. We were able to do that. Obviously, it's hurt us a couple times this year when we were not, even though we were able to fight back a few times, but not enough to win. So it's just it's a different game every week, and in the end, it's talented people playing against talented people. So you're not always going to win every single rep. You've got to just win more of them than the other team, and you've got to score more points than the other team. So it's just there's a small margin for error, and we want to try to be as clean as we can and continue to play hard and improve on that and play with great energy and have fun doing it, and we hope to play well this week.
When you look at their defense, I mean, they've got Walker and Hairston and Weaver, a bunch of guys who are projected to be picked as NFL guys. Is this as talented a defense as you guys have gone against this year?
Well, they're very talented, and the D-line is exactly the same as last year, and they're big, and they're athletic, and they produce. And this defense has produced all year long. I mean, they shut Georgia down. They shut Ole Miss down. They know how to play football. I think they just haven't scored as many points as they would like to this year, and sometimes that happens. But the defense is well coached with really good players, and they have a lot of experience. So we will have to really be sound in our attack and try to create some points and try to get a lead because that'll be important. But yes, this is a very talented defense.
Jeff, you've talked repeatedly about the importance of the rivalry and bragging rights and that. How much do you personally hear about it from fans, friends, your mom, whoever?
Right. No, I hear about it a lot, I think anytime you go out and amongst the people, they're going to talk about this game and they want this win. It means a lot to them, and I'm used to it. I think that obviously it makes you prepare a little harder, and it makes you put in a little extra effort to make sure that. When the game's over, you look in the mirror and say, "Man, I don't know what more I could have done," and you hope to be come out on the winning end. But that's what it's all about. These are great games for everybody to participate in. It's great for fans, which is really what provides the excitement at games. I know it'll be a packed house, people wanting to knock each other off, and I'm sure Kentucky is going to play to knock us off and to end the season their season on a great note and ours on not so much of a great note, and they're very capable of doing that. And you're going on the road, you're playing in a hostile environment, and they will be into the game. So these are fun games to play in. You just hope to come out on the winning end.
Jeff, given the desire to get that cup back here, can you even enjoy Thanksgiving dinner like with your family? Is your mind going to be like on X's and O's elsewhere?
Well, we have the normal invite, the family invites to the whole extended family households, and I've already been thinking of plenty of excuses to use that I can't make it because I don't know how much of a good mood I'll be in. But in the end, you got to be able to, enjoy some company every now and then. But no, this week it's going to be all about, trying to win this game, and I would definitely make sure that. All the time and energy is spent on preparing for this game and to making sure our team gets ready to play. And, that's my job. And we have one more regular season game to play, and we need to, prepare well and play well. So I hope everyone enjoys Thanksgiving, but I'll possibly enjoy it after Thanksgiving's over and after the game, down in the future. But definitely it will help if we win the game.
You and your program have mentioned on numerous times how you want to be as aggressive as you can be, but in a game such as this where emotions can get high, how do you kind of straddle that line between maintaining the aggression you want to but not letting it boil over and get too emotional and perhaps lead that to penalties?
Well, we've had some penalties, so yeah, we got to talk about it, and we got to make sure our players are playing between the whistles and not allowing that to happen. For the most part, we've been pretty good on that, but we've had some things pop up every now and then, and when they do, they've been costly. So that's why it cannot pop up. And, sometimes the rare one you can deal with, but it can't be a reoccurrence. So yes, we've got to make sure that, we play between the whistles. It's clean. it's talked about and we're communicated. Hey, we're not going to beat ourselves on this, and we're going to um, play with class and play in between the whistles and play to win, but make sure that we're respecting the game and respecting our opponents. So yes, we want to make sure we do the best job we can with that. Okay, thank you.